Good morning, and anyway, I'm gonna rape some face. Well, good morning, and welcome to another episode of I Wanna Play. Today, I'm going to be playing FIFA 04 because this is a wonderful part of my childhood, and I thought, sure, why not? This is a game, obviously from 2003, you know, regular YouTube's, what am I saying? Regular series and stuff, you know, a FIFA game comes out every year. This is the game with the front cover having Ronaldinho, Henry, and I can't remember the other guy. Basically, this is the 2003-2004. That was at the time of the so-called Almighty Arsenal, as I call it. I call it the Almighty Arsenal because, you know, at that point they were like dominant, completely dominating the Premier League and everything. And it's been a while since they've really done that, since they actually really struck fear in the hearts of people in the Premier League. Because now they're just, you know, slacking. Well, I suppose Arsenal are coming back, I suppose, but they're slacking. Basically, I'm gonna use a one-star team and face this Arsenal. As you can see, their Arsenal, they have Gilberto, Patrick Vieira, Campbell. Half their team is basically the French national team. And then, you know, I'm using a random team I've never even heard of. So, you know, I still remember this game because it was just classic. Funny enough, I got this game for 10 pence. And he always laugh about that because 10p is nothing really. Like, there's 10p in my pocket right now. You know, I could go and get another copy of this. It's crazy. But, you know, it's just hilarious, really. I don't know. And I still have fun on this. Like, this game is still fun. Like, in some ways, this is more fun than, like, Pro. Because currently, this is, like, the most recent FIFA game I have. Because I used to have FIFA 11, and then it, like, broke and stuff. So then I thought, let me just get some old school FIFA games. I was going to get FIFA Street as well. Like, the old school FIFA Street 1 and stuff. Because I haven't played those since I had a PS2, like, 4 or 5 years ago or something like that. And it's funny, like, I tried out the FIFA Street, the new FIFA Street demo, and to be honest, I'm not really approving of it, you know? Because the thing is, it doesn't feel like FIFA Street to me, really. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like, you know, like, it feels like FIFA, like a kind of commercialized FIFA. Which just happens to be on the streets. Whereas the old school FIFAs was like a fantasy football type thing where, you know, you think, imagine if Ronaldinho and Henry and Rooney and a whole bunch of other guys just happened to be playing in the same local park. You know, they didn't have like a uniform. They just had clothes, you know, regular clothes that like a sign of their colours. For example, the England team, they would wear like red and white and blue, but they wouldn't wear like. I was talking about England team. They wear red and white, but they wouldn't wear like, you know, uniform or anything like that. You know, whereas now it's like commercial. It feels it's like the commercialized FIFA Street, basically. You know, it's just weird because now you have like people watching them, like an actual crowd and everything. So it's like, I don't know. They took the street out of FIFA Street, and the gameplay it feels a bit weird. You know, like I don't know. Like defense, of course, it's basically apparently just like FIFA 12. So of course the defense is going to be impossible to do, which is a bit annoying because FIFA 12, you know, defense is a joke. I'm not sure if they patched anything because from the last time I played it, I think they patched the impact engine a little bit because at release day it was like crazy, and I think they fixed that up a bit, so it's a little less crazy now. But I don't know, just how can they take the street out of FIFA Street? That's the thing I don't understand. Like, this keeper is too good. Yeah, the thing about this game actually has like a kind of difficulty to it, I suppose. Well, obviously I'm playing on low difficulty because I'm not wonderful at football games, so you know, I just play for fun, I suppose. But I don't know, I thought I'd add some difficulty by facing the almighty Arsenal team, you know, and reminisce about those days when you could be called a glory hunter for supporting Arsenal. I remember those days. And then Chelsea started to come up because of Jose Mourinho and his masterful managing skills. The guy's a beast. And also apparently, well, Mourinho is apparently coming back to Chelsea potentially because, you know, he's found looking for flats in London, but potentially he could also be going to Tottenham because what's the name of Tottenham's manager? How can I forget this? Tottenham's manager potentially, that was beast. potentially Tottenham's manager might be appointed as a New England manager, so there'd be a spot open for someone like Jose Mourinho, who could beastify. He turn any team into a complete beast of a team anyway. I think he just instills a kind of self-belief in them and like a kind of team spirit. You know, like they all want to make Mourinho happy or something. I don't know. I think that's what he does. He's a wonderful guy. How many times has he just won? Like gone from an average team to like winners of everything in 1 year. It's crazy. I know, he's just amazing. Yeah, so apparently Jose Mourinho might make a comeback, which would be very nice for Chelsea as well, since AVB is gone as well. So, you know, something they're used to as well. So it's always cool. It's like when Kenny Dalglish came back to Liverpool, or Henry temporarily came back to Arsenal. And see, the keepers are just good in this game. Like, they're not garbage. Like, you don't cross the ball and the keepers get defensive, or because like in later games you don't really see them catch the ball as easy as they do in this game. But I don't know. The only problem with this game really is it lags a bit sometimes. You know, the frame rate drops slightly, like in it, but it's still a fun game generally, I have to say. I don't know. Just yeah, it's quite funny as well. Like looking at, you know, if you see all the future stars here. I think, for example, there's no Messi in this game because he was too young. This is like 8 years ago, and Messi would have been 15. You know, people actually forget Messi's only like what 24 or something, and he's scoring like 5-goal games sometimes. People question if he's human and stuff, but I think it's just God-given talent with Messi, really. You know, some people just have God-given talent, and Messi has a certain flair about him, and he also, I don't know, he has the speed, he has the skill, you know, he has the control, which is what you need to be a very effective striker. The only thing he doesn't have is the strength, because if Messi gets tackled, you know, he's going down, he's probably getting injured. You know, that's the only thing about Messi. You know, maybe as he gets older, he'll get a bit slower, but he'll build a bit more strength up, or maybe something like that. You know, so it's supposed to be an okay trade-off, but whatever. That won't be for another like 8 years or something until he starts going off his prime anyway. So don't need to worry about that, do they? I don't know. It's quite funny. Like you see, for example, Bastian Schweinsteiger. It's like I think his first game that was actually featured in. You know, for example, he's not on the first team for Bayern Munich as he is always now. Like Bastian Schweinsteiger is like the center of Bayern Munich. That guy works like a horse and a half, like crazy. I don't know, he sets up every goal, actually plays a part in everything, really, I suppose. He's a wonderful midfielder. You can't really get many better than him, I suppose. I don't know. But enough about future football stars. We're going to talk about the past, you know. We're going to talk about the past. You know, was that Henry? Yeah, Henry. Funny enough, the graphics, you know, normally when I play old games that I used to like, the graphics are horrible. But this, you know, for the time, it doesn't look that terrible, really, to me, you know. I don't really think it looks that bad. But anyway, so Henry, of course, Henry. Thing is, Henry wasn't a one-man team like Van Persie. People say Van Persie's a one-man team, and sometimes it kind of has some value in that, because you know how many times has Van Persie saved Arsenal's ass by himself, essentially, you know. So it gets kind of annoying as well, you know, when you get labelled as a one-man team and you're not the one-man element of the one-man team, you feel like useless. Ah, come on. And then David Seaman and everyone. It's just, I don't know, it's cool. See, the keeper's just good. The keeper's just good. I don't know, just like, I don't know, just what was I saying? So yeah, the thing about one-man teams, it's like, you know, if you are a one-man team, you know, you can't really do much, because say someone, because Van Persie, I have nothing against Van Persie. The only issue is the fact that he is labelled as a one-man team, because generally he actually is probably the best player on the team anyway. You know, I like Theo Walcott. You know, he seems to be able to defend better than any of Arsenal's defenders for some silly reason. Maybe he should play defence and then, I don't know, be one of those defenders that move up. You know, because of his speed as a striker, he has the ability to defend. But it's quite sad when Theo Walcott's running back and getting the ball quicker than, I don't know, Songa or Giroud or anyone. It's quite sad, but I know. I like to complain about Arsenal, and I like to watch matches to see them fail for some reason, because I'm a very negative guy when it comes to Arsenal. But I don't know why I'm negative towards Arsenal. I think it's just, you know, I don't know. I was never into Arsenal. Well, I kind of was. I was intrigued by how they could go 39-0. Like, in the year this game came out, they went 39-0 in the Premier League, I think. which is impressive. Like unbeaten, completely unbeaten in the entire Premier League. Not even like unbeaten at home for a while. Unbeaten in the entire Premier League. Like that is a feat that you should be proud of. This is also the last. It's also the last game where they, in this year, 2004, that was the last time they won a trophy, the FA Cup, I believe it was. It might have been a cup after. That's the last one I remember them getting, the FA Cup. And I remember that final was a penalty shootout or something like that. Yeah, because I remember being at my auntie's house and watching that. You know, all these memories of football as a kid. You know, before the days of Messi, and I remember the old Ronaldo, who retired a couple years ago or a year ago. I can't remember too much. You know, I haven't seen Ronaldo since. I can't remember anything from Ronaldo apart from like World Cup 2002 against England, where they beat them 2-1 or something like that. Was it 4-2? I can't remember. I remember people getting emotional. I remember it was like in primary school we actually watched like parts of the World Cup before school and stuff like that. Like people just came around. The janitor put a TV up, and you actually just got to watch stuff. It was actually quite cool. Only thing about this game, obviously, is quite the old games. You can't do the extra time, but you can do golden goal. So it's something. But I don't know. Also, free kicks. I didn't get to show off the free kick mechanisms in this game, but I'm not used to them anymore. Because I remember being able to do free kicks back in the day, but I'm still getting used to it now because it's like actually requires a little bit more like control. You have to do a few more things. You have to jump through a couple more hoops to actually take a decent free kick. But I don't know. Like how in later games you just press square or you press circle. Well, I'm saying PS3 controls. I actually say PS3 controls for FIFA because although I have an Xbox and a Wii, I still say PS3 controls for FIFA because of how much FIFA I played as a child. Like because I've just grew up on FIFA on PlayStation. Like I will always say square and circle. And I'll say A sometimes or RT sprint, but that's like it. Whoa, crap. see, I told you the keepers are beastly in this game, as opposed to like, keepers in later games where they just do stuff. They just hang around. Come on. No, I was trying to get like an early cross in there, but I don't know. It happens. It works. Come on. I can't lose to Arsenal. Actually, I don't mind losing to this Arsenal because this is the almighty Arsenal. The guys that were like a team, that had team chemistry. Just banging goals like it was effortless. Henry was at his peak, basically. That's why they have a statue of Henry. He's the only guy that's still alive that they have a statue of. So that actually makes him a real, actual living legend. I mean, even when Henry returns to Highbury, even if he's beast. That was beast. Even when Henry returns to Highbury and he's like on the other side of the team, he still gets a standing ovation. Not many players get that when they're on the other side. It's amazing how much they respect Henry. But anyway, I beat Arsenal with a 1-star team because when you're playing this game, it's fun. I know. I didn't really get to show off too much of this because I remember in this game you can also shoot from anywhere and like halfway line and stuff. It's crazy. You can do anything in this game. Just shoot from halfway line and all that crazy stuff. But it was. I have to say, if you can find FIFA 04, it's a fun game. If you're pissed off with all this silly, online stuff like I don't know, the whole Ultimate Team bullshit stuff like that. If you're raging over that, come back, play some FIFA 04. Have a good time. Use Arsenal because they rape in this game. I use Bayern Munich, of course, because they also rape in this game. They're Balak when he was good. This is a wonderful game. I got it for 10p from CAX, so you can probably get from 10p for somewhere else. I mean, come on, 10p. Come on. The soundtrack, brings back memories, old songs. Everything's just wonderful about this game. And for 10p, like really, you can either get this or you can get a silly sweet. You can get 300 of these. Or you can get a copy of Modern Warfare 3. Which one are you going to get, really? Come on now. Anyway, so with that, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid, and good night.